are talking about a shitter. Nothing funny about that, is it? Gotcha. So we just got these 15 litre core peat.
So normally while Dave's doing the boot part, I do the pee part. I got
two supervisors. One that says nothing and one that says a lot.
One that says a lot. Garbage bag.
Garbage bag over that. Give it a good shake.
No, we did.
No way in hell I'd ever have a chemical toilet again.
No.
Just the ease and it's so much. It changes your travelling immensely.
Massively. Hello. So today we're doing a review on the Ogo Loo.
We've had quite a few people ask about this, so instead of asking questions back and forth on YouTube and social media, we're going to actually do a review today.
Yeah, so don't have a drink, don't have anything to eat, because it might be a little bit yucky.
It's not yucky.
Nah, it's all good. So we're just going to go through everything with you and what we think.
Okay, so it's real simple. With the Ogo, you don't actually have to take the whole toilet out. It's just the inserts. So there's two little latches on the side. Push them back, lift this up a little bit, and then you can pull this bit forward. That's your urine in a little bucket. We'll put that aside. And then to get this other bucket out is pull this up. Yes, it is full. That's why we're doing it. And to be honest, look away if you don't like it, but it's just like buying
potting mix
from Bunnings. I'll bring this out. So
sometimes you get a little bit of the sawdust or peat, whatever it is.
Yeah, but it's more like you do get a little bit of condensation. Obviously, when it's colder, there's more of it. This is warm, and the surrounding atmosphere is cooler. So you do get, it's hard to see, but you do get a little bit of condensation.
Which we just wipe that out with some disinfectant, so it's all ready to go.
Yep. Now, we do ours, we empty ours once a week by choice. It's part of the cleaning ritual that we do. We do, although this time it has been 12 days, just happens to be where it is and it needs emptying. So we'll go through, it's simple, plastic bag. Right, so all I do is put a
garbage bag
over that. Give it a good shake. That's it, done. How simple, and it doesn't smell. This goes in the bin.
Now, do you clean, because you're obviously left with residue?
There is a little bit, like where we are today, there is no water. So for me, I'll just give that a shake. I'll put the next lot in, which I'll go through, I'll get a brick and I'll show you how I do it. And then the other thing is, we empty this. So this is really easy.
What's
I'll take
this?
The wee, I'll just take it over to one of these trees over near the fence line. Done.
So normally while Dave's doing the poop part, I do the pee part. I just give a disinfectant wipe over with obviously where the urine goes, so totally wipe that over, and I give this a good clean inside and out as well. As we said, it's just got that little bit of condensation. And so they do give you this when you originally get your Ogo. Since then we've just done
right?
Yeah, we do basically. So we just keep the same bottle. So we just use some water, some vinegar, a little bit of
detergent.
Dishwashing liquid, and I just use a little bit of essential oils and
fill it up with water.
Yeah, and some a little bit of the lime scale, because you do get a little bit of crystallization in the urine
in the bucket
tank. Yeah. Now the other thing we do, thanks Mum, I didn't know where to find these, but they're like your toilet urinal type thing. We actually pop that in the top of where the urinal bit goes.
We'll show you when we go.
Yeah, and it just helps with a little bit more smell as well. So also with this, so basically after you've done number ones, I sometimes just give it a good wipe out with some clean toilet paper, and then just give it a couple of squirts and just let it run through. That's all you need to do, simple as. with the toilet paper scenario as well. So we don't actually put any toilet paper in our bin whatsoever. It doesn't go in the composting. I think we did try it, and I think it just doesn't work. It does get stuck on the
well, it gets it's stuck. It doesn't break down as quick unless you put more water in it. But I'll get into why we don't do that when I show you.
So we just use we just got these dog toilet or dog poo bags from Kmart, and we just put all our paper in there, and obviously I go to the toilet with number ones inside. If Dave can, he uses a tree like most blokes, and then in the morning obviously we've got number twos, and that goes in, and then it goes straight in the bin. So that's how we manage it.
And look, even if we don't have a bin nearby, we just put in the bin in the van, and seriously there's no
smell. Yeah.
So we just got these 15 litre core peat bricks from Bunnings. They're about $6. I don't know where they are, but when we go to a Bunnings, usually get about 4 of them. Now what I do is I break the whole lot up into there and give it a mix. Now I'm not going to show you how I break it all up into there, but I'll just break it up with hand, and once it's done I'll come back to you. So I just break it into as much into sawdust as I can. Takes a little while, but you get the idea.
You got a little supervisor next to you there today?
I've got 2 supervisors. One that says nothing and one that says a lot.
One that says a lot. Okay.
Right, so come and have a look at this. I've just broken it all up. It took about 5 minutes. Now, they say put so much water in. Sometimes I don't, but this is a little bit dusty, this one. So I just put that's enough water for us. Now this is how it works for us. I'm just trying to...
So what did you do right at the beginning? What was your mix ratio right from the get-go?
Well, what they said was you get...
Who's they? Ogo?
Ogo.
Yep.
You get your brick. They give you a half a brick, a 7 litre one. Use a third of it and a litre and a half of water. Now, that was way too wet. I don't know why or how people say they get it. It was way too wet. So we tried to put, it was too wet. We're only getting 5 days. It ended up like a, I don't know, like swampy, muddy. It was too wet. You could smell it. So then we backed off on the water. We put more peat in. If you put too much peat in, when it's turning around, it builds up here on this piece, which didn't work for us. So over time, now we've been doing it this way for the last 3 months.
Yep.
Hardly any water at all, just enough to take the fines out of it. And sometimes that brick I get 3, maybe 4 lots of goes out of it. But if you can see in here, they've got the arms, the paddles, the top of the paddles. So I just like to cover that with this peat. So by the looks of this, I'm probably only going to get 2.
And that's just because there's different...
Well, like the density of the brick is different. So as you can see, there's the top of the paddles. That's it. We don't add any more water, and we get about anywhere between 10 and 15 days out of that one, and it ends up like that. We just find the more water you put in, the longer it takes, you know, the shorter a distance you get. We don't add any paper like Nick said, and for us that's given us 10 to 15 days.
And what about the smell in, like, when you're in a hot climate compared to...
Oh look, a chemical toilet. When we're from the Pilbara, so when you're up in the heat there, even after changing it, the next days you start to get that smell, unless you got like a carbon filter on the outside. I think they call them a SOG filter, but no smell at all with this. You do, obviously urine is the smelly part. So when you mix the urine with this, that's when you get that horrible smell. Another thing we say about this is we probably could get longer out of it, but when you're have heard where some of them, the motors burn out, and I think this is my opinion and my opinion only. I think when this gets too wet or too thick, you're putting so much strain on that motor that that's my opinion what probably burns it out. So to make it easier on this, when you push the little button, you can hear it. When you hear it starting to strain a little bit, it's time to empty it.
Okay, and we'll show them the button.
Yeah.
Let's put it all back together.
Oh, hang on. What we do with this, I just put it in a plastic bag, and we've got a little outside locker on the back of the van. Next time when we go to empty it, it's
ready to go.
The whole process is only about 3 minutes. So it's only when you do it this way. Like I said, sometimes we get up to 3 or 4 mixes out of it.
Okay, back in the van, and this is how we put it all back together.
Really simple. So just lift this up. This paddle bit we put to the back.
You have to hold that up as well. It doesn't stay up by itself.
We do have one of them smelly things in there just to try and help with the smell a little bit. And it's more like we said, the urine smell.
Yeah.
Just get that in. The button's on the side here. So we give that a run for its money. While that's mixing, that goes in, the handle goes that way.
Have to lift up again to get it in place.
Because there is you've got to get that nozzle. If you don't lift it up, because that goes inside here, it won't close.
Lock your tabs.
Lock the tabs, right. Here's that little
urine ball
thing. We just found it just helps. Doesn't fall in the way. Nick will show you where it is.
Now the cleaning vinegar you can get from anywhere really.
This one's it's called double strength vinegar from Woolies.
Yep.
Bunnings has it.
Coles have it. They're not expensive.
About $2.
We just give it a splash so that
I just pour it, got it in there?
Yep.
I just...
So there's some in the bottom
of the thing, and that helps with the crystallising of the urine.
Yep. And then obviously after each pee, this is all we do is basically
so once you're up and done and then I just give one on there.
Now you can see how that's just running down.
So that helps stop the all forming up and crystallising in the little funnel underneath.
Yeah.
And it's as easy as that. You pull this out to do number 2s.
So then that allows that situation.
And when you finish, push the button, give it just that's it, done.
Press
simple as.
Yeah.
We just keep this down there next to the toilet.
Okay, so we have been asked by a few people, male to female perspective, on how we feel about the Ogo.
You'll give the female one?
Clearly.
Because I'm not.
So, obviously I'm a bigger lady, and when we went to the show to try it out, Dave's like, sit on the toilet, and I'm like, how embarrassing. Like, anyway, I just, I don't feel like I'm too big for it at all. I have plenty of room in the bathroom, and we do have quite a smallish bathroom. I don't find it's an issue. I find it a little weird that you don't flush and you're not weeing into water
into one bowl,
which is kind of strange, but yeah, anyway, I don't find it daunting at all. As we said, we just basically don't put any paper in there whatsoever, so
that stretches our time.
Yeah, I think you just have to be mindful, male and female, is to not get the urine in the composting part, because when you mix the two, that is how you get that smell, so you just have to be mindful of that. But yeah,
it does. How's the best way to put it? It doesn't matter if you get a couple of drops or a little dribble into that composting thing, but you shouldn't
do a full wee.
You shouldn't do a full wee into it. You're not going to stop it. When you lift the lid, obviously there's a little bit of residue left in the little funnel bit that before it goes to the bottle. When you lift the lid, it runs backwards and falls into the bowl. That's fine. You're only lifting the lid once or twice through the whole time from process of start to finish. The other question we got was, there is a little fan that runs all the time, and there's a chute out on the back, which I'll show you. People ask about, is it noisy? You can hear the fridge now. You can't hear that fan at all.
No.
If you go out the back, you can hear this. It's just a tiny little computer fan. So for a bloke's perspective, yes, you got to sit down to have a wee. The only time I probably do that is when I get up in the morning, first thing in the morning. The rest of the time, I'll find a tree or go to a public toilet or something like that, like most blokes would. But anything else? You think there's any?
No, I don't think so. What about power usage?
They're minimal. You push that button, you go. We found before we had the OGO, there was a chemical toilet in here. Overnight, with nothing, just the fridge going, we weren't using lights and it was fully charged from the sun. We weren't in it. We were using about 10% of our battery overnight with just the fridge running.
And
when we put this in, didn't make a difference at all.
We chose to keep the shroud as well because we feel like aesthetically pleasing. It just doesn't look like a little R2-D2 box sitting there.
Well, the main reason we kept the shroud as well was the pipe's got to go somewhere that comes out the back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have done an install. You can see the pipe comes in through here. And then it filters out the back through the old door. But
so check out the install with that. Also, I mean, these days, pretty much, I think you get the option. Where our caravan is an Evolve, and they, when we popped in for our service, they were having a couple of builds there. One of the guys opted for chemical still, but you do definitely get the choice with Evolve, and I think all caravan manufacturers these days.
And look, Nick hates. She said, "No way, I'm not having one of them toilets." Blah blah blah. But she complained at no end about the other one smelling.
Oh, look, your whole van just smells like poop. You know, in the heat.
When you're constantly up in the heat, yes, not so bad down south or in the cooler climates.
I was just saying to Dave this morning, how good is it that you're not having to rush around, find a dump point.
We're not doing the walk of shame.
Yeah, and having to, you know, empty it every 3 days. I think that is in itself. I think that's been brilliant. Don't you think?
I think the wee cycle is about every 3 days. We find if we've emptied it the night before and the next day we're leaving, there's only a tiny little bit of wee in it. We don't empty it, but if it's been a couple of days.
Hot tip. Make sure you empty your wee part before you start driving off. Yeah. Not that we've made that mistake. No,
but someone else has. But
yes, messy.
Like, you know, if it's only probably got this much in the bottom, I wouldn't worry about it. No. But if it's half full, I'd definitely empty it before you start travelling. We did find 3 days and the light comes on, roughly. Yeah. Because Nick... She likes,
have a bladder like the size of a walnut.
Yeah, so she's forever on it. But 3 days, when the light comes on, it's not a major. There's still probably about that much before it hits the top. Yeah. So once it comes on and you've weed on it, like we've done it overnight, like Nick's got up and said, gone to bed, and she's, it's the light's on.
Oh my God, I'm not going to be able to pee at 1:30 in the morning.
You can still pee a couple of more times in it before you need to empty it.
Yeah. So that's not a... That's it's fine.
Now, in finalisation... hang on, I'll take you out and I'll show you where that vent is. Right, we're just out the back of the van. This is the vent. And all I've done is, you can see why this is the back of the toilet, like the back of the OGO, and this is the shroud. So this hides this hose. I don't know if you can hear that, but no noise at all. Well, you know, there is some noise, but it's that quiet you would hardly hear it.
Right, so I want to talk about cost and where we got it from and how it got delivered.
So we got it, we went to the 4-wheel drive show in Perth last year, which I think is just finished again now. It's in November. They had them there. That's where we seen them. We hummed and hawed about it. We thought about it, and I didn't want to buy one because we didn't actually have a caravan then. We'd sold our van and we were looking just for information on it. So once we brought this van, and I said, "No, damn it, we're going straight to. We're not even going to use the caravan until we get this chemical toilet out and get the new one in." So for me, pulling out the old toilet was quite easy. and someone buying a second-hand toilet, it's nicer to get a brand new one than a one that's being used. Now, cost was just over 2,000. I think it was like 2,1 or something like that. I don't know what the price is now. That was a year ago. Delivery, the people that bring it in are in Brisbane. So they import them from America, and then they ship them out. I think it took, I was lucky because he still had one in WA just up the road from where we were, which was the display one at the show. So we got that without freight because I just went and picked it up. But I think on average it takes about 7 days to get to you.
Yeah.
So cost, like I said, is just over $2,000. Very simple to install. And look, if you're starting from fresh before you even if you're getting caravan built,
and if we got another caravan built,
I'd go straight for this again.
100% go with this.
No way in hell I'd ever have a chemical toilet again.
No.
Just the ease and it's so much. It changes your travelling immensely.
Massively.
But the cost between a chemical toilet and an OGO composting toilet is don't quote me, but I think it's somewhere around $500-600 difference. So if you're getting a van built, I would pay straight up the $500 or $600 more to have the OGO put in.
Yep. And
not have the chemical toilet.
Definitely. Like, it's been the biggest game changer for us, hasn't it?
Yeah. So the other thing is there are a few different types of them. Nature's Head is the other composting one. Now, I didn't go with that because, well, mainly because Nick didn't like the look of it.
Yeah, aesthetically ugly.
But the other thing I didn't sort of like about it is to empty it, you had to take the whole goddamn thing outside. Yeah. Not just the bucket.
Yeah.
So with ours, the OGO stays in there. We just empty the 2 buckets. With the Nature's Head one, you have to take the whole base of the toilet out. Suits some people, didn't suit us. It's not what we wanted. We're not saying one or the other. But we've tried this one, and we'll stick with this one.
And you asked for the review, so here it is.
All right, guys, I hope that helps. Any questions, comment below.
Hit us up.
And we'll put this one out maybe as another midweek one.
Ooh.
While we're sitting around
Look at us
go. Cheers, guys.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.
Hey, like and subscribe. If you see us out on the road, hit us up for a chat.
Always up for a chat, aren't we?
We are.
Yeah, especially me.
Okay.
See ya.
Gotcha. Bye. That was all a bit dull, wasn't it? Nothing funny.
Know. But guess what?
What?
We are talking about a shitter. Nothing funny about that, is it? Catches.